It's been over 2 years since I built the monastery, and I must say to this date it's still one of my favorite builds. While the Empire Castle was loosely inspired by 19th century castles, primarily from Germany, the monastery definitely has a different vibe. It kind of mixes Eastern European Gothic architecture with Eastern Orthodox church designs, which in my opinion, makes it feel much older than the Empire Castle. I've always thought of the bulk of the towers and buildings being much older than the main tower, which kind of looks like it could have been built much later, like centuries later than the rest, in keeping with architectural tradition, in a fantasy setting of course. The issue with translating this build into a tutorial has always been that the terrain is heavily modified. And I'm not just talking about the path leading up to the mountain, but the actual shape of the mountain itself. So what I've done for this tutorial is actually to redesign the entire monastery to kind of fit with the existing terrain in a much better way, or a much more approachable way at least. I've kept the location for each tower roughly the same, and even added a couple of new things that works better with the existing terrain. Like for instance, the mountain has this really cool looking dripstone cave that almost suggests to some sort of route up to the monastery. Using the terrain and letting it shape the designs you create is really helpful, and I would definitely recommend trying it in your own builds. And also when looking at the existing mountains here, it actually has some well-placed mountaintops for the towers. So in the end, we're not actually that far from the original build. But for those that really want to recreate the original build instead of this redesigned version, I've actually added a free schematic download for the original build. The link is in the description. I've also added a link to a zip file with separate schematics for all the buildings and towers. So if you use Lightmatica, you can actually start building right now. As I mentioned in the Mountain Castle video, this build is to a large extent defined by its towers. And if you want to, you can actually try and use these buildings in a totally different context. To get more schematics, you can join my Patreon or YouTube membership, where all the world downloads are available too. It's such a big help, and I want to thank all of my members for helping me make it possible to even keep making these videos. It's just I love it so much, and I really appreciate it, so thank you so much. And also don't forget to join Sixcord, my Discord channel. If you need help with this build or any other build, or want to connect with other builders and share your creations, then please stop by. We have such an awesome community, so I would be happy to see you there. The way I've designed this new version of the build is to use as much of the existing terrain as possible. So for now, the only thing you actually need to do is just to find this mountain and cut off the top. Simple as that. When standing on the top, you should be at Y level 141. And remember, if you generate the seed in a different version of the game, the terrain will be the same, but the trees are probably placed slightly different. When we're further into the build, we need to do a bit of terraforming here and there, but not much. Even though the towers might seem scattered around the mountain, they actually align fairly well with each other in terms of the floor levels. The courtyard here will be built on top of the flat level we just made on the mountain, so when standing here, we are one level higher than the mountain. So we are at 142 to be exact. Almost all the surrounding buildings have the same floor level as this courtyard. Same goes for the houses here. The only difference here is that we can add additional floor levels below instead of a solid foundation. The watchtower on this side aligns with the courtyard too, and so does this watchtower here, but with the upper floor level. The only building that deviates from this principle is the third watchtower here, but we'll take the height difference into account when we get to this tower, so don't worry about that. In the upcoming episode, we'll start by building the main tower and the chapel itself, so we're going straight into the good stuff. In the following episodes, we will build the other towers and buildings and then connect everything. And remember, you don't have to build in the seed. You can rearrange these towers in any way you see fit when using them in your own worlds. If you're using the schematic and you want to build in this seed, you can find this location here and align the schematic so the platform of the pulpit is right here. So you're basically standing on the pulpit if you're standing on this block. I believe that the coordinates are offset by one block in Bedrock Edition, but you have to check that for yourself just to be sure. And for all other builders, just wait for the next episode where I'll show you how to build it manually. And yeah guys, this is basically it for this short introduction. I will try and get the next video out as soon as possible, but I've been so busy with work and stuff lately, so yeah, I haven't been able to create videos as often as I wanted to. So yeah, that's it. See you soon, guys. You're the best.